coming today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me more about your athletic background. I know you played some baseball and when you were younger.
Played quite a bit of sports when I was younger, and college baseball, and then play a lot of golf, competitive golf these days, and the last probably 20 years.
Was that an influence of your dad or your mom or?
Both.
Sports?
Actually, both. My father was a college basketball player, but I think my mother is even more competitive than he was. So I get that just was part of growing up in my family.
And you have two other brothers, right?
I have a brother and two sisters, and we all played sports. We were all very competitive.
Okay.
My parents wouldn't have had it any other way, and I don't regret that at all.
Yeah.
That was a good way to grow up.
So most of the weekends you're in the field pretty much.
Yeah, during the after school on the weekends, if not playing, practicing.
Yeah.
So it was a way of life for me in my family.
Did you incur any injury like when you were playing?
Just some broken bones that healed.
Okay.
I really never had any kind of long-term injuries, which, knock on wood, I played, football all the way through, high school, and did break some bones, broke my nose a couple times, and collarbone once, and
I think that's part of the game.
Part of the game, lots of bruises that never healed because you just kept bruising them over and over again.
Yeah.
So, but you live with that. That was the sacrifice.
And you found us because you hurt your knee or something, your hip?
Yeah, so my knee, my wife and I were hiking about 2 years ago down in Tucson, and there was a probably several miles of step downs and it was kind of getting late in the day, and we were kind of double timing it.
Okay.
And that pounding of the step down blew up my right knee.
Really?
And
wow.
It literally was twice the size by the time I got home, and I've never really had an injury like that before.
You just tweak it going down?
I just think it was something that gave with my knee. It was just too much. And then a couple of weeks went by, and I was nursing it, trying to get it better. Still playing competitive golf, and I play on a course where we walk a lot. We take carts sometimes, but other times not. And I probably should have taken a cart the whole time, but I didn't, and I limped my way to hurting my left knee. So I had both knees that were really giving me a fit.
So it started compensating pretty much.
Yeah, I was limping, and the left knee was taking too much.
Was that a year ago, 2 years ago?
That was that started about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, and for a good chunk of the first bit of that time, I was trying to just heal it naturally and all, and didn't want to go down the path of the cortisone shots and possible procedures or surgeries. So
did you see a doctor? Have a check?
I never saw a doctor to get an idea of exactly what was wrong with it.
Yeah.
But then we found your name online, and this whole thing started, and this was the best move that I made. My wife found it. Got to give her credit.
Was she the one doing Pilates or you?
We neither one.
Oh,
yeah.
neither one. Okay.
We just, this was an alternative that I wanted to try before I went down the other road.
Yeah.
And when I first came in here, you told me that after doing an analysis, you told me that it looks like your hip flexors are off, which threw me because you said I was tight up through my groin area, and how that affects your knee was further than I could travel.
Yeah. So you were just thinking about your knee. You're not thinking about your hip.
Yeah. So you said, we'll get those, straightened out, and then that'll help take pressure off your knee.
So what was in your mind when I said that?
Well, I knew everything was connected, but I thought that was like two very long dots to connect. So, but I was willing to do it because I wasn't going the other route. So, and after 2 weeks of training with you, rehabbing kind of really, I start feeling better.
Yeah, it's amazing what you do in the reformer now, how you can, open up your hip.
When I came to you, I couldn't do a child's pose. And that's the truth. I couldn't even get in that position. So
that was, there's a lot of You can bring your butt to your heel, right?
I couldn't even bend my knees.
Mm-hmm.
They were so swollen that I had a hard time getting in that position.
And you enjoy a lot of hiking now.
Yeah, and
Especially last year, you've done a lot.
yeah, and you know, and I used to wear this thing here, this brace, because the step downs were terrible on my knees. Yeah,
So
it's old. It's been, it doesn't owe me a dime.
So you don't use it anymore.
I don't use it. Yeah, it's up in my closet. I pulled it. I found it, dusted it off, and brought it in. Just to. It always reminds me of where I was. And now I can do step down hikes anywhere. Humphreys Peak, Grand Canyon. We're doing them all.
Yeah, you did Lake Tahoe as well, right?
Lake Tahoe, Mount Rose. We got up there pretty high.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That was
5,000.
yeah. That was, we climbed about 2,500, I think.
Wow, okay.
Something 2,000, 2,500 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's easy. I mean, we're in pretty decent shape for the hiking, so we can. I mean, it's a long day, but I can do it now. I would have never even attempted it.
So what would you recommend, like people who having knee problems or having knee issues?
Yeah, I mean,
would you recommend this type of training?
Yeah, I think try this first. This is the more natural way to do it.
Yeah.
And it works. Once you get your body aligned and you get some kinks worked out, it's amazing, you know, how the body recovers. And
you feel better now? Do you have any problems?
No, my left knee, maybe I have like it's not as strong as my right knee. It's the one I hurt initially, but it's very close to being great. My right knee is completely healed, 100%.
So what's your favorite exercise?
Actually, I like the one, the pigeon and I still actually kind of still don't get along.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
But I couldn't even get in that pigeon position. Now I can do them and not fall over to the side.
I know, right?
The snake, though, that one there.
That was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
And the other one's the tendon stretch when you're sliding down. That's
oh yeah, that's a great stretch.
Yeah, so you can straighten your knee and do that.
Yeah, and to perform on a golf course, you know, to have a firm base when you swing, I feel like
You feel more stable.
Oh yeah, like 2 tree trunks. I tell people, you know, they're solid, and you can swing hard off of those, you know, off of that foundation.
Good.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, my wife. I thank her for introducing me, and
that's right. Your wife's a Pilates teacher now.
She's an instructor.
She's an instructor officially.
Yes.
But,
so and one last thing, a wise man once told me, "Don't let the old man in."
Yeah, that's right.
And we know who he is, and I've taken that up, and I'm going forward. This is a great place for me. Thank you.
Bill.
Thank you. Oh yes. Thanks, Steve.
Okay.